this is as real as it gets.
Hey, this is Marcia Prince, IFBB Bikini Pro and Guest Berry Nutrition spokesmodel, and you are listening to the UCW radio show, In Your Face.
The number you have reached, 911, has been changed to a non-published number.
You're listening to UCW Radio.
In your face.
Give it to me, baby.
All right, welcome to the UCW radio show, and as always, we have a great guest lined up, waiting in the wings to come on the show. And look, in the world of entertainment, you have some high-quality people that are going up the ladder, and what I try to do here is bring some of those people to light for our listeners so you guys can find out more about them before they get to that next level. Okay, and our guest today is definitely one of those people that are going to the next level. All right, so without further ado, please join me in welcoming Matthew Jaeger to the show. All right, Matt, welcome back to the UCW radio show. How are you, buddy?
Oh, man, I'm great. It's good to be back.
Yeah, no, it's been a little bit. The last time, wow, what was it, about 2 or 3 years ago?
Yeah, I think it was 2009, so 3 years ago.
Yeah, wow. It's been a long time.
But I've seen you since then.
Yeah, you have. But you have a lot of things going on, man, in your career. When we last spoke, I think that when we had you on the show, not when we last spoke. I know when we had you on the show, I think we were talking about a play you were doing, and
right.
I mean, your career has been shining brighter and brighter from what I've seen. I mean, shoot, I look on IMDb, and all of a sudden your star meter goes, poof, so it's going through the roof.
Oh, man, that friggin' star meter, I got to tell you.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I just see it. It just goes, woof.
Yeah. Oh, man, yeah, it's funny, man. I actually, that thing, there are whole businesses now where people will just try to get your star meter up. It's crazy. Like, that thing came out, and it's become huge out here. It's crazy, but it's fun to watch, too.
Yeah, it's like, oh, let's boost up your this and move this up, and I mean, it doesn't mean anything. I mean, what is it? It's just zoop. It's
how many times it's there's some kind of program or formula that they use, and it's how many people like look at your IMDb page or looking you up or commenting on your site, all that stuff. So the more people who look you up, the more people who comment, the lower your number until I think probably Daniel Craig, I think right now is number one, because he just did Bond. And,
yeah.
So
yeah. It's like you can't get, I mean, the PR goes into everything. Can't even escape an IMDb. My God. So tell us what's going on. You've been doing a lot of TVs. You've been doing a lot of stuff. I don't even know where to start. I'll let you start.
Well, here let's see. When we talked last time, I think we were getting ready for that movie I just done. It was called Just Say Love to come out, and actually they just came out with a new version. They just came out with like a director's cut of that. They just actually told me that today. I got an email. So that's pretty exciting. I guess they revamped the ending a little bit. I actually haven't seen it yet, so I got to try to get a copy and see what they did. And then, I did a guest spot on CSI. I did I just finished doing a role on Criminal Minds. I did something on Switch to Birth. I've done a whole bunch of commercials. I did a couple more plays. I actually, while it was out here in L.A., that show Clybourne Park, I was understudying two of the roles before I went out to New York and won the Tony. So that was great to work on and work with that cast and the writer and the director. And then on top of that, I actually had a little downtime, and my girl had been encouraging me because I'm pretty outdoorsy. Like, I like to rock climb. I hike a lot. I actually started foraging. And so I live in L.A., and all my friends think I'm crazy, but, like, I collect wild elderberries, and I get all these wild foods and use that to kind of supplement my groceries. And she's like, you got to do something about that. You got to do something about that. And so I finally broke down, and I started this web series called Urban Nature Man, where basically it's kind of what I try to do, where I live in the city, but I try to get out into nature as much as possible and sort of connect the two lifestyles. And we've got one series of episodes out where I take a really funny buddy of mine out his name's Jason, or we call him J-Ro in the show. That's what I call him. And we go out, and I basically show him what to do if you get lost hiking, and he is not an outdoorsy guy at all, but he was a real sport, man. He came out with us, spent 2 days shooting. We actually spent the night out in the woods. Like, he was a trooper. And then we did a couple other episodes, actually, when Hurricane Sandy, which I know you know plenty about, was coming down. We did a quick video on what to do if you haven't prepared, and now you've got to do something to get ready. So we did that episode, which actually has a couple people. We've gotten some really positive feedback on it.
Yeah, thanks for telling me. Late.
Yeah, now you find out.
Now I find out. Yeah, I could have used that information, pre-storm, my friend.
Oh man. I have some family out on Long Island, and my aunt sent me a picture, man. She has this old, huge tree that just got ripped up by the roots. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was a crazy, time in New York. I took the time to actually, I was doing some volunteer work. It was,
great.
I was doing stuff on Long Island. I was doing stuff on Staten Island. I was doing stuff in Jersey, and I was traveling around. I did some stuff recently for a pet thing. I know this show's about you, but I figured I'd bring it in because you mentioned about the devastation, and I've been
please no, go ahead.
Yeah, and I've been talking about this on every show that we're doing, that the devastation people don't realize. I went through Bell Harbor in New York, and I mean you have a block of houses from corner to corner that are burnt down to the ground.
It's funny, you don't think about a fire with hurricane, you think of it as flooding, but I know Katrina was the same way. They had fires all over the place.
Yeah, well,
with the gas mains breaking and everything.
That's what it was. The gas line, the gas mains break, the gas lines go, and it was crazy. And that's Bell Harbor. You have Breezy Point, which was worse than that. So, I mean, that gives you an idea. And I've been telling people on every show to go in and get in touch with the Red Cross, make a donation, $10 donation. You dial 90999 on your phone, and you'll be contributing. And I bring, again, I touched on it because you brought it up, but I've been talking about it on each show. But I wish that you would have had that video. If you would have sent me a message, say, hey, Lou, here goes a video, just in case.
Yeah, you know what? And I absolutely should have. We got it going. Let's see. We got it up right around the time. I think at that point you wouldn't have had electricity.
I probably didn't have electricity. Yeah, because I was without power for a little bit.
Yeah. We were scrambling to get that thing up in time. It would still do some good. So, but hey. You can check it out now, and then you'll know what to do next time.
Yeah, well, hopefully there's not a next time, but it's good to know. It's good to be informed, and it's good that you did that. Now, let me ask you, Matt, when you, how is it working on Criminal Minds? How did that work out?
Oh, man, they were great. I'd actually known the casting people for a while and had been, trying to get in, and it's funny, I acted in one episode, and then I helped them out with another episode before that. They were looking for, because of the play we talked about when I first interviewed with you, I know sign language.
Right.
And there was a casting notice for Criminal Minds. They wanted somebody who signed. And so I had my manager pitch me. I contacted the casting director directly. I'm like, hey, I'm fluent in sign language. I'd love to come in and read for this. And I got the sides, and it turned out it was a deaf role. And in the deaf community, for me, I mean, the deaf community and for my friends, they look down on it too, but more for myself, I have a lot of friends who are actors who are deaf, and they only get so many opportunities, you know what I'm saying? And it seems unfair for me to come in and try to play a deaf character, and I know I'm going to mess some things up when I know all these guys who, I mean, they're truly deaf, and they're great actors, and they could do something with the role that I never could just because I don't have that experience.
Right.
So I actually turned down the audition and ticked a few people off until I recommended a couple of my buddies. And Criminal Minds was really open. They're like, yeah, actually, that'd be great. We would love to have a couple deaf guys come in and read. So I recommended two of my friends. One of them ended up booking it, and Criminal Minds was ecstatic. And they're like, well, would you mind coming and interpreting for your friend while he's on set? So I basically came and hung out all day, and I interpreted for him, and in the episode, one of the regulars had to sign, so I taught her the signs. I was an ASL technical consultant, I think was my title or something. And then about a month later, I got called in. They asked, hey, we want you to come in and read this role. And I actually was shooting something else at the time, but luckily because I already had this relationship with them, they said, well, just put the audition on tape. And so they let me do that. And the director, John Treleski, who was really fun to work with, liked me, and I ended up booking the role, and I worked a week on Criminal Minds, and it was a blast. I got killed and dumped in a river.
Oh, so there's no coming back for you. No recurring role. No recurring role on that one.
No, there's no coming back from that.
No, but how many? I mean, Matt, look, the reality is, how many people in Hollywood you get a role, and how many people actually turn it down for a reason like that? I mean, most people would just say, "Okay, I'm going to try to make it happen, try to make it work," But you didn't do that.
Well, and I got to say, I can't speak to what somebody else would have done, but I don't know. It didn't feel right, to do something like that, and to look at my friends who I knew could do a more true job, and also, how many opportunities do I get to audition versus how many do they get? I mean, they rarely get called in unless it's actually a deaf role. Right. So, for me to try to look them in the eye and be like, oh yeah, man, I went in and auditioned. Sorry. I didn't feel right about that. So
well, that shows your integrity, and that's why you and I get along, because from the first time we spoke, and then when we met, your true character showed up. I remember when you came down to do the dog thing.
Knockout dog. Yeah, the knockout dog fighting.
Yeah, in L.A. when we did that. And again, you showed your true character, as all my friends that came down did. And I think that's amazing. Just good stuff. And I'm happy that there are people like you in entertainment, because all that's going to do is open up doors for other people. Because that's essentially what you did with that. You turned it down, but you opened up the opportunity for someone else that you knew.
Well, yeah. I mean, and I know you know what I'm talking about. But it's growing up, I grew up in Wisconsin. I'm a Midwest boy, and it's the idea of treat people well, they treat you well in return. And also is, I don't know. I mean, this is a rough business. If we can't help each other out, what success I've had, I've gotten because people have helped me out or turned me on to something, or whatever. And so I've had friends recommend me to agents, or I just had a friend recommend me to a casting director. So if I were to just take all that and not try to be out to help other people out, well, that's just really selfish, and I'm sure I'd hear about it from my mom.
Yeah, you definitely will. Actually, I think your girlfriend would hold that against you big time, because I know that she's a decent person. But again,
yeah, you met her.
Yeah, I did.
That's right, you met her. Yeah, you met her knockout dog fighting. Yeah,
exactly. I did. So that's why again, a person's character tells a lot about them as a person, in general, so I'm happy that you're getting these roles. You did something, I think it was I think it was before we were in LA. You did something with CSI, and that was a CSI spot I did. Yeah, and that was a little different than Criminal Minds.
Right.
Are these the same people that they're involved in both shows, or?
No, totally different. And actually, funny enough, the CSI role, which is my first TV job, I got to play the killer, and I got it because I know sign language. I ended up, same thing actually, I didn't have a theatrical rep at the time, and so I called a manager a friend of mine's manager, and I'm like, hey, would you mind submitting me on this as a favor? He did. I ended up booking it. Worked out well for him. He got the commission, worked out well for me. I got the job. But really, I only got that role because I knew sign language. So my first two jobs in TV were because I knew sign language. Switched to Birth and CSI. I got those auditions because I knew sign language, and so now I'm getting, which opened the doors, which have allowed me now to audition for roles where I'm just coming in because people are starting to be like, oh, Matthew Jaeger, I've heard of him. Okay, yeah, sure, we'll bring him in. But if I were to, if sort of going back to that Criminal Minds thing, if knowing sign language and being connected with the deaf community opened up those two first opportunities for me, I can't turn around and spit in their face and then start taking roles, start taking jobs from them.
Well, of course not, of course not. And when did you learn sign language? Was that with the play that you were doing?
Yeah, when I was a kid, my parents put me into class, but really it was doing Children of a Lesser God over at Deaf West. Before we even started rehearsing, I had a month of, it was 3 times a week, 2 hours a day with our ASL master, whose name is DJ, who was a fabulous teacher. And he and I are actually good friends now. We went to the 4th of July show this last summer together. He's got he's got a beautiful daughter and a kid on the way. And he taught me sign language. And then, rehearsing, my co-star, Shoshana, was deaf, and so it was pretty much, learn to sign or don't talk to my co-star during rehearsals. So between the lessons and all the practicing, I picked it up.
Yeah, but
sink or swim, basically.
But that's what you did. But you actually doing that, and I remember you mentioning Shoshana because I wasn't aware that she was deaf, and I wanted to have her on the show, and that wouldn't have worked out too good.
No, that'd be hard to do a phone interview.
Yeah, it'd be very, very difficult, very difficult. But and you doing that, and you kind of learning as a kid, but you going through this crash course and learning sign language actually opened up other doors for you in entertainment.
It's funny, as an actor, and I think I said this in our last interview, I think as an actor, man, no skill you pick up will go unused. You will use everything, because as an actor, you're called on to play so many different roles, and that's one of the things I really love about it, is both the things I've had to learn for my career. I mean, I did a commercial where the morning I showed up, they taught me how to ride a horse because I had to ride a horse. And then the sign language my parents put me in as a kid helped me pick it up a little faster when I went in to do the play. Like I said, I have family from New York, and I ended up I did a play called Short Eyes last year, which was an amazing experience. And I ended up having to do a New York accent for it, so my dad's from Long Island, so he helped me kind of pick it up a little bit. And, yeah, you know what I'm saying.
There you go.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, my God. Too funny.
So working on that. And even, in high school, I took Spanish lessons. I'm like, when is a white guy with red hair ever going to need to speak Spanish? Well, my girlfriend's Chilean. And I'm actually... I'm nervous. I'm so scared. But around the New Year, we're going to Chile so I can meet her family, and
Nice.
They don't speak English. So I have been frantically brushing up on my Spanish.
Rosetta Stone, baby, Rosetta Stone.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. And I'm not promoting that. They're not a paid advertiser, but
Understood.
Yeah, but
let me tell you though, the traffic in LA comes in handy when you're trying to learn a language on
yeah.
a CD in your car. You're so grateful when you hit traffic.
Oh yeah, I know that traffic over there all too well. Don't like it.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, it gets crazy over there. So now you started the Urban Nature Man, okay, and you have a whole series right now that's online. Now, I mean, what are you looking to make happen with that? Is that like your online reality series, and you hope for it to get picked up, or what are you looking to do with that?
What we're doing right now with our immediate goal is we're actually trying to get our views and our likes up. We're trying to find sponsorship for it as a web series, and at the same time, we're working with an agency right now who's helping us pitch it to some of the networks to try to get it on like Discovery or History Channel or something like that. So the ultimate goal is to get it on one of the cable networks as a reality type show.
Okay.
Sort of like I always say it's like a Dirty Jobs meets Man vs. Wild. Bear Grylls, only he screws up the whole way.
And you do, but you're filming. I mean, I've seen a few of the episodes, and it's high end. You're not going out there with a camera phone and saying, "Hey, I'm going to film and do this."
Oh
thing.
no,
this
no,
is all
we
HD.
did it
this
right.
Is serious, yeah.
Yeah, it's talking about people I have friends who work in sound out here, and they helped me find a good deal on a couple personal mics, and went out and bought a nice camera. And Carolina directs all the episodes, so. And then obviously I'm Urban Nature Man, and then we had Jaeger come in and help us out, and we're actually the reason we want to get sponsorship right now is Carolina and I could keep doing it on our own, but we had so much fun with Jaeger that we want to bring him on as a regular. And while we're cool working for free, we don't want to be asking our friends to come in and work for free over and over and over and over again. So we figure if we can get a little sponsorship, we can then ask him to come on and pay him, because he's got his own career. I mean, he's doing really well himself, and so if we're going to ask him to give up other opportunities, we want to make sure that we can make sure he can still pay his rent.
Yeah, no, that I understand. But come on, J-Ro, get with the program, buddy. We're trying to make something happen. We're trying to make some magic.
Oh, no, it's nothing on him. We want to make sure that we can.
I understand that. I'm just joking around. Because look, a lot. I mean, you have a lot of, as I mentioned earlier, you have a lot of, you have decent people in entertainment that'll go and do things on the cuff just to help a project move along. Because I mean, I don't care. I mean, I've had some interesting people on my show, and the only thing I can say is that anyone that's into entertainment, especially the upper echelon, actors and things of that, people like that, they are happy to be working.
Oh yeah, we want to do some projects,
Right.
Yeah, that's and luckily, for some of us, we're able to pay our bills doing it, which is great.
Yeah.
Be able to pay your bills doing what you love to do. I think very few people get that opportunity.
Yeah.
And his real name is Jason Rogel. I should give him a little plug. His name's Jason Rogel. He's a great actor, very funny. And he came on and he did that show for nothing.
Well, Jason Rogel, if he has a sense of humor, he laughed just about a minute ago. So big plug for Jason Rogel for doing what he has to do. J-Ro for doing what he's doing with you, Matt, and what you're doing with your Urban Nature Man. So now you're looking to get sponsorship for it, and
right.
So you can pay the actors and pay for editing,
the crew,
editing and things like that. Are you actively with I guess I don't even know what term, marketing, advertising agency, someone like that'll go and get you the sponsorship?
We're working with an agency right now who is helping us find the sponsorship. They're the same people who are helping us pitch to the networks. So we've been very fortunate that whoever we tell the idea to seems to get really excited and want to help us out.
That's good.
So they're saying, what we need, so what you guys need to do, or what would really help you get sponsorship is XYZ, and then we go off and do XYZ, and we come back, and I mean, we're newbies to this, so we're kind of figuring out as we go, and they've been great as far as guiding us along, and then if we do get sponsorship or something like that as an agency, they'll get a commission. But right now they've been doing everything pro bono, so God love them.
Well, that's good. See that's everyone has to help. You have to help people. If you open a door and you help someone, you don't know. And I sent out a message, today actually, that you should never think that you're above doing something, or never think you're above someone, because you never know where that person is going to wind up being or who they are. Because
absolutely.
I mean, where you're here now, Matt. In a year or two, I mean, I see you really being off the charts, and your star meter is going to go bing. It's going to go through the roof.
Oh, from your mouth to God's ears.
All it is that one opportunity. All it is that one thing that'll make things happen, and it does happen. I remember, and it's funny. I remember when I was doing martial arts interviews, and I was doing some features, and I had a kid on there. I think he was 12 or 14 years old. Had him on the show. We're talking about what he was doing. He was a national champion, so on and so forth. And the bottom line is, this kid went on to being a Twilight star. Taylor Lautner. So you never know
Wow.
where someone can wind up. So and again, I kind of see how people are and what they're doing, and you have this never give up attitude. So and you love what you do. So I mean, how are you going to fail with it? You can't.
No, you got to keep plugging away. I like that you call it never fail attitude. So many people have just called it pig-headed stubbornness.
No, but you have to. Look, some people it's funny. Some people see the glass is half full, glass half empty, this, that. I'm like, forget about all that now. Just drink the water and keep moving forward. And just keep making it happen, and that's what you're doing. And there's no price tag on a dream. Okay, as long as it's realistic and you think you can attain it because you have it in your ability to do so, you're going to make it happen. You made a decision to be to have a career, which is doing something that you love to do, so it doesn't feel like work. And this is the path you're taking. You could have given up, years ago if you wanted to.
That's true. I mean, I've been at it for 9 years. Though I hate to say disagree with you, you're right. There's no price tag on a dream, but I think there is one on a goal, and it comes with a lot of the blood, sweat, and tears. And as a guy who, I know you're very into the MMA world, so you know what I'm talking about with blood, sweat, and tears.
Sure.
And I think that's, if you're gonna, the difference between a dream and a goal is what you work for. A dream is what you sit around and think about.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I think having a dream is great, and it's even better when you can make it a goal. And when you do that, you've got to be ready to put in that blood, sweat, and tears.
Mm-hmm.
I actually was just talking to my brother. He's getting ready to kind of take a risk so he can do something he really wants to do and that he loves. And so, of course, he calls his brother the actor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because he's about to give up financial security to go after his dream. And I was like, well, calling me, I think you already know your answer. But I told him, there are going to be times when it's really hard, but and you're going to really feel like you just can't do it. But what I'd say to anybody out there who wants to try to make something happen is just go for it, and be ready to put in the work. And I always say blood, sweat, and tears. I know it's cliche, but I think it's absolutely true. I have put in all of those things into this career. And I was going somewhere with that, and now my brain just farted. So
your brother.
It started out so inspirational.
Yeah, you were going down the good road, but you were talking about your brother. He let loose of financial security to go after his dreams.
He wants to do something he wants to do, and so for anybody who has a dream and they really want to make it happen, go for it and be prepared to put in that work. And the harder you're working. And the harder you're working and the more it seems like it's not going to happen, strangely enough, that's actually a really good thing. That probably means that something is about to happen. I know for myself, at my lowest points have always happened right before something came and something clicked or something broke or something happened. And when you and I first did the interview, I had just come back from shooting that film. I had been bartending, and the bartending job I had that was supposed to be held for me wasn't. They ended up replacing me while I was still shooting the film. I had no idea. I didn't let on at the time, but I had no idea I was going to pay my rent that month. And now I have no other jobs. I'm just an actor. I have a really nice apartment in L.A. I've got a great girl. I can take her out to dinner when I want to. I'm not rich. I'm not famous, but I'm definitely happy, and I'm doing it with what I wanted to do. I'm living my dream. So what I'd say to anybody out there who's got something that they want to go for is just go for it.
And that's the name of the game. But on that note, Matt, just hang on. We have to take a quick break, and we're going to be right back with Matthew Jaeger, and we're going to keep talking about what he's doing with Urban Nature Man and everything else. So just hang on. We're going to be right back.
All right.
I don't care about nothing. I ain't no part of the crowd. They wanna check me in, but I'm checking out. Say I need medication, 'cause it just ain't right. If it's a barrel or a bottle with a bones I can swallow, and they will give you a shot to the head.
see something cool? Check this out. My name's Anitra, and I'm gonna rock your world. Wow.
Oh my God! Look at that!
Wow. Oh my God. Along with my boys Mikey and Joey, I need the Shalava Brothers stack. We're knocking down walls and taking names. The brothers actually getting something done. And everyone gets to play.
Progress is slow. We should be finished by Christmas.
Girls with power tools, rule. We're not just bringing back the den, baby. We're making mega dens that'll blow you away.
Wow!
Anitra, it's unbelievable. That is cool. You want some of this? Facial recognition, motion activating. They're gonna wet their pants.
This may be the coolest room I have ever seen.
Because life is too short to live without a mega den.
I like their size,
I love their texture.
their shape, feel.
They complete me.
Big, small, it doesn't matter.
Yes, I like boobies.
Love boobies.
Yes, I love boobies.
Yes, I love boobies. I love boobs.
Most of us know someone.
Who's been affected by breast cancer?
My friend.
My piano teacher.
My sister.
My aunt.
My teacher.
My 2 aunts.
My Aunt Rachel.
I beat breast cancer.
We can beat this together.
Show the world how much you care.
And join us in the fight.
Because it's more than just boobs.
It's life.
All right, welcome back to the UCW Radio Show. We're here with Matthew Jaeger, where we're talking about, living your dreams, going for your, reaching out and, kind of going for your goals and making things happen and not being
working hard.
Yeah, working hard, not being a couch potato. Because you have too many people, Matt, that sit on the sidelines and they expect some magic to happen, and I spoke about this on other shows. It makes me laugh. They figure they put a picture on a wall, all of a sudden that's going to materialize out of nowhere.
Right. Well,
yeah.
that's something that, see, for me, it's when people have talked about things, and I don't know if you're talking about the whole, you envision it, and so it will be law of attraction or whatever people call it. For me, I think that's about focusing. If you want to put a picture of what you want on the wall, that's great. That's a focusing tool, though. That's not about. That's not. To me, anyway, I don't know if it's going to attract it to me. I think I'm going to have to go after it. But keeping that picture up, or keeping the written words, or saying it, or whatever, however you want to do it, for me, keeps clear of what I'm going for, why I'm going for it, and it really helps motivate me.
Well, but that's a different thing. You're talking about having something to inspire you, but action is what's making things happen. You have
Exactly.
You have people that literally will put a picture there, and they'll look at it, and they'll say, okay, this is going to happen, and it's going to happen. Then they'll go back and to watch, they'll go watch Jerry Springer or Montella, and whatever Maury, whatever you have on TV, and that's what they'll do. But they don't actually go and make any motion towards their goals, because you do have, as you mentioned, you do have the goals, but also to living their dream, not thinking about it, not dreaming about it. Anyone can dream about a dream, but it's making it happen.
Exactly. You got to go after it.
Yeah.
And funny enough, I would say, there's a flip side to that too. When I first came out here, I think a mistake I made was I went almost too hard at it, because I think you can also burn out. Like you have to be a well-rounded individual. Mm-hmm. I know as an actor, you walk into an audition room, if you seem desperate or you seem depressed or burned out, you're not going to get cast, because nobody wants to have you on set for 8 hours a day looking like that.
Right.
So it's the idea of whatever your dream is, if you're going for it, go for it all out. But also remember, you're running a marathon, not a sprint.
Right.
So plan and live accordingly.
Yeah, and that's a key thing. Hey, let me ask you a question. We're going to get back to the story with your brother in a minute, but I wanted to ask you a question. You, with Urban Nature Man, you're doing everything, from soup to nuts yourselves. So
right.
Now, do you think for yourself as an actor, do you think that learning the behind the scenes, the directing, lighting, how the camera works and everything else, do you think learning that is actually going to help you in your career with what you're
absolutely.
doing as an actor? I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. Because any production, for anybody who, if you go see a movie or whatever, stay and watch the credits, and you will see the hundreds of names that go by. You have the actors, and there'd be anywhere, maybe anywhere from 5 to I don't know, 500 people, depending on how many extras there were. But then beyond that, it's just reams and reams of names of lighting, sound, production, all the effort and the moving parts that go into a movie. And the more you can appreciate what everybody does, I think it not only helps you with some of the technical aspects, like say, oh, well, I know the camera's there, so the purely technical aspects of cheating to make sure your face is open and that you can be understood and your expressions can be seen. But also, I think once you get on set, appreciating that everybody up there is working hard and doing and working their butts off for something they love, I think gives you a respect for everyone else on set, what they're doing, and then allows you to keep a good rapport with the crew. I mean, for me, I always try to make a point to learn everybody's name as much as possible, even if I'm only there for a day, because quite frankly, they've had to learn my name because I'm there, and so they need to be like, we need Matthew Jaeger on set at this time. They need to know who they're calling. And I think developing appreciation for all aspects of I'm an artist, so for me, any artwork, but whatever craft you're trying to pursue, the more you can learn about that craft, it can only help you and give you a greater appreciation for the whole.
Yeah, and well, I think you, and this is my view on it, all that stuff is important that you just mentioned. Now, I'm going to look at things from a producer's standpoint. I have an actor. He understands how the camera works, the lighting, where everything's set, everything else. Now, there's a good possibility that actor is going to be able to do in maybe one take that may take, someone else maybe a few takes to get the shot that I want, because you understand, the director, obviously they want to have a certain shot, so it's easier for you to kind of help them along the way, and that translates to dollars and cents because you save money, so you don't have so many shots going on. And
absolutely, if you can problem solve,
right?
If you can problem solve, it's great. Actually, on the Criminal Minds episode, there's a scene where it's a flashback scene, and they show me walking around in this farmer's market, and then I walk out between the two regulars. But because it's a flashback sequence, obviously I couldn't touch them. Mm-hmm. But they had to have them at a certain distance so that, they were both in the camera and everything. So as I'm walking out, there was just a problem where they couldn't move them far enough out to really give me room. So we did a couple takes, and the director's like, I don't know. Look, just go through and don't hit them. So just knowing kind of where the camera was and everything, I just shifted. As I'm going through, I'm carrying these shopping bags. I just shifted my bags in such a way that I was able to turn sideways, get through them, and get through. And it's great because I heard the director go, clever man. And just took care of it, and it was done. And on the flip side, that kind of mentality, I was doing a commercial project where, as you do in a principal in a commercial, everybody sort of gets their close-up shot. Because of the coloring of the shot and the coloring of my costumes, this was something I didn't know because wardrobe's not something I've really dealt with. That a lesson that I learned. I'm a pale dude. Mm-hmm. If anybody out there looks me up, I'm a ginger. I'm pale hair or red hair, pale skin, freckles, pale guy. Well, I'm in dark clothes in a dark room, and then my pale skin, I kept blowing out the camera, so they could never get a close up of me. And so now I'll always know, like whenever I go into a wardrobe and they want to hand me all black clothes, say, just so you know, I blow out cameras, so you might want to go a little lighter on my wardrobe. Just a heads up.
And again, that saves time and money, and
exactly.
It actually helps the project because look, the money that gets saved with the shots and doing all that stuff can actually go to promoting the film or promoting the project, whatever it may be,
exactly, or the next project or any of that.
Yeah, but that increases your value to
absolutely,
to directors, producers, casting agents, because with a casting agent, the better you do on a project, the more that whoever they're working with is going to say, hey, you casted a great guy for this, and you knew he was great for this, and they're going to want to, use that casting agent more often. So there's a whole domino thing going on there.
Yeah, the more people, the better off you, or the better you do at your craft, the better you make everyone else look. And so the better everyone else looks, the more they work, the more you work, because they're obviously going to keep you in mind.
Yeah. And I think that's the way to do it. I think you're doing everything the right way, and doing Urban Nature Man is actually helping you with everything you're doing. So you have to give your girl a big fat hug because she knows what she's talking about.
Yeah, she does.
She's like, babe, you're gonna start bringing home the bacon. This is no joke. You're doing this, doing that. You're gonna make it all happen. You're not going back to Wisconsin. You're in L.A., so you have to make it all work out.
Well, she's been great with it because it's been a really busy fall for me. I shot the 2 episodes on Criminal Minds, and I shot a couple commercials, and I shot this other project, and I've been crazy busy. And so I've actually I've been obviously there to perform for Urban Nature Man, but a lot of the marketing and a lot of the behind the scenes things she sort of had to take over, and she's been a champ with it, man. She's been the driving force behind it, to the point that she's like, Matt, you need to be doing this. I know you're busy, but you got to do this stuff too. I'm like, oh yeah, sorry. Oh crap, and back to work.
Yeah, but that's good stuff. That you have someone on your side that's actually making that stuff happen.
Absolutely.
Because that makes the difference between a project working out or not. If you have someone that's actually in tune to what you're doing, that's on board, that's your number one fan and your number one supporter, you're more often than not, you're going to be very successful in what you do, because now you're obligated not only for yourself but for the person that's supporting you.
Right. Well, and I have to say, 'cause she's also an actress, that it's been a lot of fun just being with her, because she's sometimes you really feel like you're on a team, and you really know you're on a team and you're working with a partner, and it's been a new experience for me, so it's been really great to have that.
Yeah, but that's she understands. She understands what you're going through. So kudos to her for supporting you and what you're doing. Not that she comes on my show, but that's okay.
Hey, you want her on your show, man? She'll come. By the way, I need to give her a shout out. It is her birthday today, so happy birthday, Carolina.
Carolina, happy birthday. Happy birthday. I know you're about 22, so happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Caro.
Yeah, that's great stuff. So you're going to go to Chile. You're going to start living La Vida Loca. You're going to start doing stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I got to tell you, this trip to Chile, man, we're going to go all up and down. I made her promise we'll go hiking in the Andes. Because, Urban Nature Man, you can't go to Chile and not go hiking in the Andes.
Yeah, I hope you're bringing a camera.
Oh yeah.
That's going to be big.
Yeah, it's going to be a really fun trip. I know her parents, they just moved back to Chile, and I'm going to meet like the whole family. And she's met most of my family, and they all love her, and I've been working my butt off to just make sure I can speak Spanish well enough that we can communicate and joke around and have a good time.
Yeah, but we all know you need to learn so that you know that no one's saying anything funny behind your back. I know how that works.
Well, what was it? My big fat Greek wedding. They'll tell me to say something. I'll end up insulting the whole room.
Yeah, exactly. you don't want that. So they'll kill you over there. What, are you kidding me? You'll get lost in the mountains. Yeah, you'll be like with that movie with with Franco, where he was rock climbing and he's
127 hours.
There you go. That I saw. Yeah. I only caught maybe 5 minutes of it, and I had to I couldn't watch the movie because it's like too much. You're gonna cut your arm off. I can't deal with it.
Man, when that movie came out, I was on the nominating committee for the SAG Awards, and my girl and we went and saw that, and then Black Swan in the same afternoon. That was an intense afternoon.
Yeah.
We walked out of the movie just exhausted.
Yeah, and that's serious stuff. And you brought up Black Swan. It's interesting. Darren Aronofsky, when he did The Wrestler, it's interesting that before he did that, he was working out of his van. And I'm saying this story because it has to do with going for your goals and trying to live your dreams, and he was doing that. He had my friend was the associate producer on that film, Evan, and that
was a great film. Tell him, well done.
Yeah, they did fantastic, and actually, my buddy. He passed away. He was supposed to be the wrestler.
I'm sorry.
And it happened during that time. Thank you. It happened during that time, but he kept pushing on, and now Darren Aronofsky, he is one of the most sought after directors in Hollywood, and it's
Rightly
interesting.
so.
Yeah, but it's interesting that he could have easily given up on his dream. He's going to make a wrestling movie, but look at him now.
Yeah, and it's because I think there's you got to give up on your dream, and there's also the to any goal or any dream. I think they're the two sides of not just going after it as far as the business aspect, but also just really developing your craft.
Yeah.
I was amazed how for a long time I was really focusing on just the business aspect until about a year and a half ago, and I started to realize that I'd been neglecting the artistic aspect. I've been focusing so much on audition technique and the technical and the business aspects that I was sort of losing the joy of the art. Mm-hmm. And then I did that play I told you about, Short Eyes.
Yeah. And
when I booked it, I looked at Gato and I was like, this is going to be a huge challenge, but I think it's really going to kind of reignite the artistry side, and it has. And I've found the more I have focused on the artistic side and the creative side of my craft, mm-hmm. the more works come, actually. Mm-hmm. I've worked more this last year that I've been focusing on the artistic side than I have possibly any of the other years combined.
Well, I think that you're definitely 1,000% right on that, because if you look at, I'll throw some names out there. Look at an Al Pacino. Okay, he is the upper echelon in the entertainment industry in Hollywood.
Absolutely.
Okay, but this is a guy that will go in an intimate setting and do a two-man show, and I've been to that when he's done it, and I was like, he like pretty much almost had his ass in my face. I was like, all right, well, I don't want to do that, but just to be in the presence and see him in motion, okay, and see him moving along like that, which is what impressed me. I remember going, and I went to go see a play, and Christopher Walken. I forget what it was, but he was, I think it was a Christmas thing. But anyway, he was I think he was Scrooge. Aha, there you go. And I think that he was on stage, and I came in just a little bit late, and I had to go all the way to the front.
Oh, man.
And he gave me such a dirty look. I mean, I don't get scared from most people. But he just like had me shaking a little bit. I was like, yeah. I said, I'm sitting down. I'm not moving for the rest of the show.
Yeah, I wouldn't want a dirty look from him either.
No. I said, oh, my God, no. But you know what? I mean, when you see people on stage live, actors live on stage, because the mistakes that can happen, there's no turning back from that.
Oh, and you got to roll with it.
Yeah. And I think doing that, it has to do with honing your craft. If you're good at what you do, you're making it happen. A lot of people go and chase the money, and I see it all the time, Matt. I want to be famous. I want to be a celebrity. Let me, send these tweets out, the Facebook message, this and that, and promote this and do that, and let me get into a reality show and do all this stuff. And they want to make it in Hollywood as an actor. I don't get that whole deal.
It's the idea of, it's sort of working, I guess, backwards of getting the notoriety or the name and then moving in. And I mean, to be honest, it's worked for some people, and I can't, if it works for them, great. I think, though, if you have a dream or you have a goal, there's a reason you have it. There's something about it, especially if you're talking about a career. There's something that you love about it. Mm-hmm. And the harder it is to succeed at that career, the more you can kind of get caught up in the minutia and lose the joy that brought you to it in the first place. And I think part of, you're talking about Al Pacino doing this little two-man show or Christopher Walken doing Scrooge or something like that, getting back to why they got into it in the first place, so they're not getting caught up on the press junkets and the just all the kind of crap that goes along with it, the dodging paparazzi or whatever they have to deal with. Mm-hmm. Getting back to the love of just the art and the craft in and of itself, I think also helps give you that stamina for the marathon, so that when things are hard and when all you want to do is give up, that love that you've now cultivated can help nurture you through those hard times for when times start getting good.
Yeah, and I believe that to be 100% true, because the way I've seen a lot of actors actually hit the stage, and it's not because they want to be stage actors, it's because they're honing their craft and they're being well-rounded. And if you're a well-rounded entertainer, you're going to know about the lighting. You're going to know about the camera angles. You're going to know how the editing works and how they can something can work for a shot. You're going to know how to, if you have to carry a scene, that you're going to be able to carry the scene if somebody else can't. So there are a lot of things in there that come into play.
Well, live theater, I think, creates some really good habits too in actors, as far as on TV and film, it's very easy to sort of call cut on yourself. In other words, something goes wrong, or you can't remember a line, or you just think the scene's over, and so you're just done. You kind of stop acting. It's what a lot of people refer to as calling cut on yourself. Well, it's a director's job to call cut. When you do theater, you have to keep going no matter what. I mean, during that Children of a Lesser God, there was a performance where somebody just didn't make an entrance. So my co-star and I had to improvise in sign language for probably 30 seconds to a minute.
And stuff like that happens.
You just have to do it. And sometimes that's when real magic can happen. And when you're talking about TV and film, where once it's in the camera, it's caught, so you can use it. If you call cut on yourself, if you say screw up a line and so you just stop the scene, something might have happened. That screwing up of the line might have maybe, if people were, if you're on your, say, fifth or sixth take, so people are starting to get a little, I'm not going to say lazy, but after a while you start to get into the rhythm of it. Forgetting that line may kind of change up the rhythm in such a way that's really interesting, that they can use then in the cutting room later and bring a spark of life that the scene might not have otherwise had, or bring a new twist to the scene, or just a new emotional sort of addition that the scene might not have otherwise had. So doing something in theater where no matter what, you have to keep going, really creates that habit in an actor that you just make the scene work no matter what. And and usually the director will call cut, and that's fine. But it allows you then to keep playing and keep playing and keep playing and keep playing until they call cut, so that they have as much useful material as possible when it comes time to edit the piece together.
Yeah, and that's again, just being in tune to what's happening around you helps out, and not only helps you out, it helps everyone around you. It helps them out.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So now we were talking earlier about your brother. Okay, we never got we never got to finish the thought because we went to break. But your brother was he's looking to leave his financial security, looking to enter into another realm to go follow, chase his dream, and then just continue from there, so that we can find out what's going on with your brother.
He's still in the early stages. He went to school. I don't want to pry too much into his life, but he went to school for physics, and he wants to become a theoretical physicist, which I still just stand in awe of. I have two brothers, and they both amaze me. My youngest brother, Ben, served 2 tours in the Middle East. He was in Afghanistan. He was in Qatar.
Wow.
And he does fire and rescue. So, I mean, his life is saving other people's lives, which just, I stand in awe of that. There's nothing that I can do with that. And then my middle brother, Dave, wants to become a theoretical physicist, which is just the same kind of thing. I'm like, he talks about some of these theories, and my brain just boggles.
So,
but to pay for his schooling, he's been in a financial aid department, basically, at the school that he goes to, and that pays for his schooling. And basically, it's time for him to move on, and he was offered an opportunity to work in another school's financial aid department with a little more money and that financial security, or to go to this other school and do unpaid research for this school that has an amazing gravitational wave physics department. Boy, I hope I got that right. Basically studying gravitational waves, which is what exactly he wants to do. He just is not sure how he's going to pay his mortgage, buy groceries, stuff like that. He hasn't figured out how he's going to make money. And so I was talking to him and talking about a dream or a goal. I mean, the excitement in his voice when he talked about it, it's like, there's no choice. You got to go for it and trust. And I think a lot of it is trusting both, and I know for him it's definitely true, and for anybody, that you have the resourcefulness and the tenacity to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
And that you are just enough to make that happen.
Well, I mean, obviously, he knows what he's doing. And
He does. He built his own office so that he can sit and come up with theories, and I mean, it's the stuff he does just blows me away.
Well, you know, if he knows what he's doing, he knows where he can go with it. You know, yeah, sometimes you just have to put everything on the line to achieve your goals, achieve your dreams. You know, and well, I mean, if he does it, okay, he's going to probably be more successful than he's ever imagined because he wants it that badly. And
absolutely,
and kudos to him. And I'm sure, and I guess it's safe to say that your parents are just a little bit proud of their boys.
I think that's safe to say.
I think that's safe to say. That's good stuff. Well, look, you have, I mean, your brother doing the 2 tours. You know, I'll throw a shout out to him because
yeah.
God bless you for doing what you've done for this country. I don't know your brother's name, but
Ben. His name's Ben.
Ben. Well, thank you, Ben. Ben Jaeger.
Thank you, Ben,
for doing what you've done for America and putting your life on the line and still putting your life on the line. Just if you help one person, that's what you're doing. You know what? God bless you. And I just wish you to be safe. In what you do, and for your brother, I mean, I think your brother's a prime example of going out and not chasing the money, but making sure you achieve your goals. And
right.
I think a lot of people, they there's a misconception that, okay, I'm going to chase the money, I'm going to make the money. People don't get it. And I say this time and time again, the money is the easy part of the game. That's the easy part of it. Everything else is hard. The money will come.
My dad said that to me one time. At the time, I was broke, so I wasn't sure how I felt about it. But he said, there's so much money out there. You'll just keep working, and it'll come your way. And it's, it was funny. I would also meet with other actors who'd been working actors for a while, and they had this. I'd say, like, how do you make this lifestyle work? Because this was right after I had stopped bartending, and I mean, my income was all over the place. And they said, somehow it just does. When the bills come, money comes when I need it. And I remember just thinking, you have to be kidding me. How can you live like that? But now, 3 years on, longer than that, I guess 4 years on, it's, money just kind of comes when you need it. It sounds crazy, but it does. I mean, you have to work. You have to work at it and keep moving on what you want to do. But it really will. It really will come.
Well, and
you may have to, wait. You may have to wait tables or hold one of those signs on the corner or bartend. Not that there's anything against those. I've met professional waiters and professional bartenders who are masters at their craft. But whatever it is you want to be doing, you may have to do something you don't want to for a while to make money, and that's fine. There's no shame in that. I think everybody has at one point. And the more you work at your dream or your goal, the more the money will come as you continue to hone your craft and also hone the business side.
And that's a key thing, and you mentioned it a couple of times, and I've spoken about it. Honing your craft, to go and wait tables and do that stuff while you're trying to get roles here and there. I get that. You do what you need to do, but in the middle of all this stuff, you need to hone your craft. You need to get better at what you do, because that's going to make you a commodity with casting agents, with studios and things of that nature. And you have to.
You want to make sure that when the opportunity arises, you're ready for it.
Right.
You have the skills and you have the ability then to capitalize on that opportunity.
Yeah, well, the smart ones do that, and again, you're light years ahead of where you were 3 years ago.
It's no matter what, everybody has low points, and for me sometimes, and my dad, it's so funny. He brings it up a lot. Whenever I'm in those low points, I think it's important. Whenever you're in your low points and you're trying to go for something, but for me anyway, when I'm in my low points, to look back on where I was 3 or 4 years ago, or even 6 years ago, and what I wanted to achieve in that time, and look at where I am now, and be like, you know what? I've actually achieved it. Like, the goals I've set for myself, I've hit, and it's amazing. And it tends to make those dark times less dark when helping to focus. I guess it's as simple as focusing on what you're, coming out of Thanksgiving, focusing on what you're grateful for as opposed to what you feel like you still need.
Right, and that's the thing with you. You kind of had to buckle down, and I don't think it's just it's just you doing it on your own. I think for you having a partner, as I said this before, someone that's by your side that has that much faith in you. Even if they're in your industry, that's great. But for someone to have that much faith in you, just pushes you harder to get to where you want to be. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then that can be a friend. It can be, before I met her, it was my brothers, it was my family, it was friends. Finding people who either you look up to or who motivate you, and being around those people. Because I think there's also the trap of, you talk about the people who just sit around and do nothing. There's a trap of starting to hang out or be around people who are either very negative or talk a lot but don't do much, and you can kind of get sucked into that. So trying to be around people who inspire you and who motivate you and who you respect.
Yeah, shoot me. I mean, God, to be around negative people, it's like you pass a razor blade because just do me in. Because that drains you, and if anything can kill your drive is someone like that, the naysayers, the people that say, oh, that's too hard to do, get a regular job. You know what? Look at this fiscal cliff we're going to be going over. Look at all this stuff that's going to happen. People don't get it, that if you're going to do things in life, at least enjoy what you do and try to make a living doing it, and you'll live a fuller life. And that's what I see. You're living the life that you want to live, Matt.
I have a list in my office that has it's a bucket list. I mean, it's it's an idea, but it's an old idea, but it's a great idea. And one of the things that's been on mine and has also been on my girls is skydiving. Mm-hmm. So Thursday, I'm surprising her, kidnapping her, and taking her up to go skydiving.
Nice.
And there's something about it's so exciting to do, but there's something that makes it a little sweeter when I know that the reason we can do it is like the money I used to pay for it came from following the career that I wanted to do, and the reason we have time off is because the career we have allows us to have that. Like everything that is allowed is as simple as a thing it is going skydiving. A lot of people do, it's not a big deal, but knowing that going to do that, all the things that made that possible are because I'm living my dream. I'm always leery to say that stuff because it sounds kind of corny, but it's really true. I'm living my dream out here. When I was 13, 14, 15, 16, doing plays in high school and stuff, this is what I dreamed of doing. And to kind of look back on who I was then and kind of give a thumbs up of like, hey man, we did it. It's really exciting. Yeah,
but you did it, but you're still doing it. Because it's not. Yeah. You're far from over. That's the reality. You're far from over, and you have a way to go on your path to achieving your goals. Because right now you're stretching out. It's like before a game. You're stretching out, stretching your legs, your shoulders, everything, and you're going to get out there and make things happen. And you're doing it, and you're doing it by action. Now before we go, Matt, because it was great having you on. I loved, having this update because, again, I usually do, when I do my single interviews, I follow up with certain people that I know have progressed and actually set a great example for not only the youth, but also, just in general for people that need to be inspired. And if anyone needed to be inspired with someone going out for their dreams, they have to look at you and say, okay, he went to L.A. without a pot to piss in, and look at what he's doing now.
Oh, thank you, man.
Okay, and you're making stuff happen. So that tenacity, you can't buy that stuff.
And I actually have to thank you because you don't even know it, but you gave me an opportunity that I'd always wanted. One of the reasons I got into acting was because I wanted to, we all have certain social issues that we believe in, mm-hmm. and the public face that you get from acting allows you, like think about the things Bono does or Clooney does. Now, to be able to do something like that is great. And when you invited me to go do that knockout dog fighting and come on and be a part of that because of my career, you actually helped me realize a major piece of the puzzle in my dream, which was to help make the world a better place through my career. So I'm getting a little emotional now, but it meant a lot, so thank you.
No, well, thank you, and thank you for your kind words. I always believe, and I've said it a few times, and I say it all the time, but I think I said it on the show already. You got to pay it forward. You have to do good things in the world because people need that. Your success. I don't care, if you're doing movies, you're doing TV, you're a singer, you're doing radio, whatever you're doing, you're in finance. If you're successful in what you do, you have to give something back.
We're all in low points and we're all in high points. And when you're in your high point, if you can help somebody in their low point, because somebody helped you in somebody helped me in my low points. So if I can help somebody who's in a low point, or help to stop people from going any lower or whatever. I mean, I think that's what separates us from the animals, if nothing else. That's what creates a society versus just a group of people living in the same situation or in the same geographical area.
Yeah, and that's what you need to do. I remember doing something for someone, and it actually helped their career. And they said, "Oh my God, I don't know how to repay you." I said, the only thing you can do to repay me is you pay it forward. I don't need anything from you. Just pay it forward. Open a door for someone else that may need it. And that's how we should be as people. In business and entertainment, whatever it may be. And that's how you are, Matt. And I know that as you move up rung by rung and you get up that ladder, you're going to be bringing people along with you. And your parents, I know they're seriously proud of you and your brothers. I know that when you reach your next goal, they're going to be ultimately amazed at what you're going to be doing, and your girlfriend, which is probably going to be a little more than that at the time. Later on, I'm not putting pressure anywhere. I'm not even saying anything about anything, But she'll be she'll be that angel on your shoulder, and she'll be glowing like anything, just knowing that the person she's with actually believed in themselves enough to make their dreams a reality. So inspiration, that's you, Matt. No doubt about it.
Oh. Thank you, man. That really means a lot coming from you. Thank you.
Well, this is how I feel. Now, before we wind down here, why don't you let our listeners know how they can find out about Urban Nature Man, how they can find out about you, and everything else? Because now they need information.
Absolutely. Google's the best way. You can just Google Urban Nature Man or Matthew Jaeger, but you can also go to urbannatureman.com. We've got all the episodes up there. We've got a little wild edibles quiz where you can look at the plant and guess if it's edible, poisonous, whatever. And we have the answer there. We've got a running blog where you can see things I've tried that have worked, things I've tried that haven't, because I post them no matter what. If they work, great. If they don't, you get to find out about that too. And you can also go on YouTube. We have a channel up on YouTube, Urban Nature Man, and we've got all the episodes up there. So please check it out. Tell your friends. We've had a great time doing it, and the more people who see it, the better, because I'm a big guy about getting out in nature and playing around. So the more people I can encourage to do that, the happier I am.
Okay, and I think that your Urban Nature Man is going to get picked up along the way. So I'm happy. I really urge, and I'm happy to say that urging that our listeners should actually go out there, view this, support it, because you're going to see this thing on your Dish Network or your cable TV on some cable channel in the very near future. I think that it's just going to happen because I've seen it. Quality work, good deal, and good reality show. I mean that's good reality TV.
Yeah, we're not going for the train wreck aspect. I want people to laugh at me. Obviously, J-Ro's there. He's far funnier than I am. Everybody's laughing at him too. And if I can encourage people to just go out and play around a little bit, and people who maybe wouldn't go out for a hike in the woods to just go out and give it a shot, that's really all I'm looking to do. And so the more people who can see it, and again, from your mouth to God's ears, mate, get on get on DirecTV or cable, and But the more people who can see it, man, the better. It'd be great.
Yeah, and don't expect any bitch slapping because it's not that type of show.
No, this is not Real Lives of anything.
No, exactly. And Matt, what's your website, your personal website?
Mine is MatthewJaeger.com.
Okay.
Go check it out. You can see the work I've been doing and some shots and just kind of see what I've been up to. I keep people up to date there too.
All right, beautiful. Go to UrbanNatureMan.com. Check it out. Find out what's going on with that. I think you guys are going to love the show. And go to MatthewJaeger.com. Obviously, if you go to UCWMagazine.com, you'll get all the links. You'll find out everything that you need to find out, and it'll link to everything of Matt's. And definitely follow him. He's also on Twitter. You're at Matthew Jaeger, right? Is that it? Is that right? At Matthew Jaeger. Go check.
At Matthew Jaeger and at Urban Nature Man.
At Urban Nature Man, at Matthew Jaeger. Check it out. Follow him, because this is a guy. His career is just getting brighter and brighter. Matt, thank you for coming on the show, my man.
Oh, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Initiating shutdown sequence.
You're listening to UCW Radio in your face.
What is your major malfunction?
So let it be written. So let it be done.
Ladies and gentlemen, my mother thanks you, my father thanks you, my sister thanks you, and I thank you.